Guys, companies are literally out here making commercials that don't even make sense. So I'm gonna show you 3 of them that make absolutely no sense, but I'm gonna explain to you why the company did what they did. So first off, Dolce and Gabbana.
Parlami d'amore, Maria. Tutta la mia vita sei tu. Gli occhi tuoi belli brillano, fiamme di sogno scintillano. Dimmi che illusione.
Dolce and Gabbana, light blue.
I mean, they literally only show the perfume twice in this ad. And they barely show it for like a couple seconds. I mean, they don't talk about what's in the perfume, how good it smells. They don't talk about the product literally at all. And somehow they spent millions of dollars on this thing just to get it in front of millions of people. But yet they don't talk about the product at all. You got 2 extremely attractive people. They're in Italy, they're on the coast, they're on a boat, they're on a convertible. It's conveying high status and sexiness. It has this dreamy vibe to it. So nobody's talking, so that makes it a little more luxurious because it's kind of silent and it doesn't need to speak for itself. It just is. Like, showing is more than saying. And then also it has this air of like mystery to it. So you lets your imagination run. You kind of think of like, oh, like that could be me. It doesn't ruin it with the voices of the characters. It keeps it dreamy. And then they go through a wave of emotion. So they have happiness and sadness and hate and love. And so that roller coaster of emotions is kind of addictive to human beings. It's toxic, but it's addictive. And people love to kind of feel those waves of emotions because it's real too. And it reminds them of their relationships. So it makes it feel like they could be in that seat. Then there's the music that creates that really romantic and dreamy vibe. It really subcommunicates that this is the perfume that's going to give you this life. And you start to associate that dreaminess with this perfume. And it creates that association and that desire for it in your mind. So since they can't show you the smell of the perfume and they can't really talk about what's in it because it's just a bunch of chemicals anyways, so they have to create something to promote the product, and to do that, they lean on desires.
Living alone, I think of all the friends I've known. About myself, don't wanna be.
Hey buddy, have a nice day.
So this one gets a little bit better because they actually do show the Jeep in it, but they barely talk about the Jeep. I mean, they don't talk about it really at all. They don't show the features. They don't show any of the stats. They don't show what the Jeep comes with or what it does or what seats it has. Nothing. Literally, it's a musical number, and then they incorporate the Jeep into it somehow. It really goes to tell a story because the story was what's going to provoke the emotions in the person, and that's what's going to get a response in the market. So the story is a kid, he's struggling, he's alone, and then eventually at the end he wins because he ends up being alone with a girl at school, so that he ends up making a friend. If they had just used stats and numbers in the ad, it would have been boring and nobody would have cared. But since they used emotions and they told a story of struggle and victory at the end, it really makes you enjoy and associate those positive emotions with that brand. Everybody understands FOMO, everybody understands loneliness. And at the end where he meets the girl, they could have used the boy in there and it could have been a friendship, but they used the girl for a specific reason because they wanted to provoke a sense of love, and you wanted to really root for the boy a lot more than if it was just him meeting another boy at school. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, think about the whole commercial. Like, why is he singing? Why is his dad taking him to school on a snow day? How did he even get into the school on the fucking snow day? Like, it doesn't mean... And he wasn't even the only one to get taken to school on a snow day. There's another parent and another kid who ended up taking their kid to school on that day. So the overall point of the story is that they're trying to convey that Jeep is a very safe and reliable car, because that's really what families want. Is they want a safe and they want a reliable car that's going to be able to get them from point A to point B effectively and efficiently all the time. No matter what conditions are outside, no matter what's happening, any time of day they're going to be able to take their kids to school, they're going to be able to go to the grocery store. It's going to be just a reliable vehicle for them. And they could have done that by talking about all the off-roading stats, and they could have, showed some numbers and some engineering figures on how they made the car like that, but they didn't do that because that wouldn't work, because nobody gives a shit about numbers and engineering and all that shit. What people care about is emotions and stories and feelings. And that's what's going to provoke a response in people, and that's what's going to get people to actually take the plunge and buy the car. So this last one, the Dell commercial, has the most numbers and technical specs of all of the videos I just showed you, except it still rarely even talks about it. They kind of have to talk about it because it's still designed for tech people, so you still need some of the specs, because at the end of the day it's a computer. How much are you going to really incorporate emotions into it? But they still somehow incorporate emotions into it. So they start off the video, they have this very cinematic, ASMR-y, satisfying video showing how the computer is being made and all the metal moving through and all that stuff. And that's literally half of the commercial is right there. It's just that ASMR stuff. And then even when they present the computer, the only words that they're really using are words that really evoke an emotion in the person. So they're using things like most powerful, rich immersive sound, smooth, comfortable typing. Anything that they say is really trying to evoke the benefits and the emotions, as opposed to just numbers on a screen. Because numbers on a screen, nobody cares about. It's the emotions that people are interested in. How is this going to help me? How is this going to make my life better? And throughout the whole ad, they're using a lot of simplicity. It's very clean lines, it's very plain backgrounds, it's very sharp cut edges. It conveys a sense of luxury when everything is so simplistic and well thought out. And then they try to imagine all the different types of people that would be using this product. They say optimized for gaming, built for Microsoft Teams, smooth, comfortable typing. They hit on people's desires for comfort, simplicity, growth. And then at the end they say it's the best of Microsoft, which means Microsoft's already an authority figure and it's the best of the best. And there's literally 1 million emotion-provoking statements in this ad. At the end of the day, marketers use emotions to get you to buy. Nobody cares about numbers. People mostly buy on emotion and not really based on logic. Subscribe to the channel if you want me to share more of the things that I learn with you.